Alright, hello. I am Otome Witch Lulu, and I'm back with another episode of Lulu Plays Seduce Me. I guess last time we had we've been having an interesting dinner with these boys, and we're trying to figure out why the fuck they're here. So I guess we'll just jump right into it and be like, okay, James, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, James?
We can take him easily.
Oh, I'm sure you could, Sam. I could take you too.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
At that moment, I didn't know what came over me, but I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. If they didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes, they probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. It would probably cause chaos all over town. You know, they could just as easily have been fucking lying to you. I hate this. Or on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. I think Sam and Eric deserve a little poking and prodding. But most of all, they reminded me of back then. Oh good, a fucking flashback. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. Are we in preschool? What kind of drama do you think happens in preschool? It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But there was a certain bitterness to that, coupled with being alone. It made me feel so sad. Alright, I didn't know what that sentence was doing for a second there. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at the moment. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. I never met him before that. What better time to see him then? If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well have turned to him. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed up against the wall and eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. I am getting really tired of reading things out loud. My throat's starting to hurt. I should have water with me. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought that I was silly for even thinking that I could change things with my own hands. That was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though would I? Oh, do I have okay, I'm gonna save over this section, yes. Do I get the option? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement I had imagined when I first moved in. There was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. And that would ruin my chances with getting together with Naomi, which is why we should tell them to get the fuck out. Oh God, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have him arrested on the spot. Ugh, this was hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the exact same exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help. As weird as that sounded, I don't think it's going to give me the choice. I think it's really funny when visual novels will give you a choice that just ends the game. Like, speaking of incubi and succubi, one of the first visual novels I played was Cute Demon Crashers, which is a really, really short visual novel, so it probably changed my opinions on how long visual novels actually are. But the first thing, you have like a choice right at the beginning where you can choose to call the police, and it ends the game right there. Oh gosh, I wish I was playing Cute Demon Crashers right now. These characters are actually really cute. I like them a lot. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could.
What was that, lovely lady?
You can't stay. You have to go sleep you have to sleep in the garage. You have to go. You're in the doghouse. That is,
Spit it out already.
You also have to sleep on the ground outside in the backyard. You could stay here with me if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what it went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife till I finally spoke up once more. Okay, but Damien can read my mind, so he's already known what I was about to say. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. I'm being so nice to you all right now. I'm being so nice. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with my any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
I'm being so nice to you guys. You better be grateful. It's all right, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I'd appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
You're still sleeping in the garage.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seem to like the idea, except for Sam, and hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given that they would follow the rules I had just laid down. 5 guys, sandwich, and fries. Okay, that's gonna be the title. It's gonna be the title of this episode.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
You're sleeping outside?
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Oh, finally, I got the achievement for the fucking prologue. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed as James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard.
Like backyard swine, that's what he said. I almost couldn't hold it in. I don't know what would make Eric not like me. Oh, I don't like this. There's 3 choices? So then, what is that supposed to mean? Can I see the log? Like, what?
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing
Oh, I
their...
can go back.
Let them have a little.
Really, you...
Finally!
Eric.
Oh, I'm still going backwards. Okay. So I didn't. I'm gonna laugh. Oh, that seemed like a lot of good things. I couldn't hold in my laughter anymore. As I laughed, Matthew and Sam looked my way, faces stuffed.
Is something funny? What are you laughing at?
I stopped to catch my breath. I leaned over the table and took a few breaths before replying. You both are so funny. Both of their faces turned a slight pink before they looked away from me, and they both swallowed the food in their mouths.
Shut up! We're not funny. We're hungry.
Well, we're glad that we made you laugh.
Shut up, Matthew!
What? I'm just saying.
See, James, it's entertainment for her.
They were funny to me. At least they enjoyed the food. As I watched, I took a couple pieces of food for myself and placed them on my plate before eating as well. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange, eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like a part of their family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. Huh? It's my mom. Excuse me. Hello?
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Hi, Mom. Everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night.
Oh, good.
Celebrate the new house and all.
Exciting. I love it. A house party? Tomorrow night? So soon? I just moved in. Why are you guys all moving so fast? Grandpa died yesterday. We can't have a party. The funeral was yesterday. This is like fucking Hamlet. We're gonna have a wedding the day after her funeral.
Your father insists.
My father can go fuck himself. I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, from moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to now organizing a party. I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
Sure, let's just volunteer 2 other teenage girls for them. Like, we won't ask their parents or anything. I know, I have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
Thanks, Mom.
All right, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
Love you too, Mom. Great. Now how am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Huh? How did you... Oh, right. Mind reading. But yeah, I gotta do it soon or my parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
You're a good boy, Matthew. I'm sorry I fucked up your heart. I'm sorry I fucked up your heart event.
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
You feel free to go somewhere else, you stick in the mud.
Sam?
Back off.
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer help right off the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. As I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
If you ever call me that again, I will. I have a steel bat. Yeah, haha, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are you all going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Oh, got it. Alright then, I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow?
Have a good night.
I will. You too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room. I could have at least offered, to clean up. Though I think they should still do that. I think they should do a lot of things to make up for sexually assaulting me.
Eric, no.
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
Yes, he was.
Shh.
I think I should invest in a Glock. I think I should, just in case. As soon as I got into my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from that nap. I dragged myself to my bed and hauled up out one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Ugh. Oh, excuse me. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today had been a long day, and I needed the rest. Hopefully, tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. It's going to be another surprise. With that thought in my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol!
What? Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me. Yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it!
Let her go!
Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam! Come on! Take one step, I dare ya.
Why can't I see?
Stay away from her, Malix!
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Suddenly, I felt myself pulled to one side and arms wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Huh? Eric? As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before had faded into black as the arms around me rocked me comfortingly. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open, and I looked up at the person holding me. Damien? I stared into the eyes of Damien. His face was painted with worry and concern, and I knew he must have seen my dream. Why didn't I dream of Eric holding me, though?
You can't control your dreams.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. What time is it?
It's 9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when well...
You can't control your mind reading?
No, not yet at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
I might
Is
go back.
everything all right?
I might go back after the Naomi route. I might go back and try Damien's route. I'm kind of don't like his design, but I'm kind of feeling his personality. He seems like a sweet boy. Huh? Yeah, I'm all right.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Yes, I'm sorry for disturbing you both.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
James is okay. He's ugly, but he's okay. Oh, thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
It was embarrassing to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned for me, despite only knowing me for a short time. I wasn't sure if it was just courtesy or if they were genuinely concerned. I couldn't exactly read their minds. All right. The 2 boys led me back to the dining room, where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted from the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need. Breakfast smells good.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
You know, if this whole situation had started differently, like with them not sexually assaulting me, this would be a fantasy. You know, living in a house with some decent men who just want to cook breakfast for me. I'll go straight for that. I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, my mind drifted back to the dream I had. That feeling of hostility around me made my body shudder instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. However, as my eyes closed, I felt a hand place itself on top of my head, breaking me out of my thoughts. Huh?
Morning. You alright?
Don't you act nice to me. Yeah, I'm fine. Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised an eyebrow at me before rustling my hair and moving away to sit down at the table. He then barked towards the kitchen, where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
And I'm back to hating him.
There's no need to yell, Sam!
You're yelling too!
Don't argue with me!
From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning? It's not like we're in the castle.
Castle? For some reason, when I heard the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys had a castle? Sam looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
You don't have to brag. I mean, I already hate the rich, so I'm afraid that means you have to die, Sam.
And wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Whatever.
Soon, James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. Toast and waffles? Decadence.
My favorite.
Oh, I guess I'll skip that.
Finally.
Thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
All of a sudden, my phone began to ring, ushering me to pull it from my pocket and answer. Hello?
Hey, good morning!
Naomi.
Guess who's at your door right now?
Oh, God.
I'll get it.
Right on cue,
Yeah.
there was a knock from the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
My heart quickly began to pound in my chest. Matthew was in the lobby and he'd get to the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out of the dining room. Cannot let my girlfriends know that I have men in the house. I'm not cheating on them, but I need them to not jump to conclusions. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and the lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go into slow motion. Matthew, don't! But before his words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door and revealed the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. What did you think was going to happen, Matthew? Okay, I'm at 21 minutes, so I think this is probably a really funny place to stop. I'm going to record at least one more episode tonight, but thank you all for watching. I hope you'll come back next time to see what happens when my girlfriends find out that five guys, sandwiches, and fries have moved into my house. And yeah, this has been Seduce Me, and I will see you next time.